the last Australian woman to win this title. It was back in 1978. It's been a long wait, and for this nation, hopes are high that the young woman furthest from the camera might be able to do something about that in 2020. To do so, she has to overcome a very talented and wily opponent, and they're about to enter the big stage.
Women's singles, fourth round action on this Sunday night. Would you please welcome from the United States, Alison Riske. And her opponent, representing Australia, the world #1, Ashleigh Barty.
What a reception for the young woman from Ipswich in Queensland at just 23 years of age. She carries the hopes of a nation tonight. Peter Donegan in the commentary box alongside Louise Fleming. Lou, that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Absolutely. We just saw a really emotional opening with the lights all down, and it was just really quite beautiful to see. And I would have imagined that Ash and Alison was standing outside just watching what was happening on Rod Laver Arena and really getting very emotional herself, carrying the weight of the shoulders, on her shoulders really, of a nation, Ash Barty.
A beautiful night, 20 degrees. The breeze has been fairly gentle outside. It can swirl around in the stadium just a little bit, but ideal conditions for the players. Jenny Jang is in charge of the match in the chair.
Ladies, can we take a photo with her this side first, please? Okay, ladies, just two reminders. The shot clock is on the wall. You see the entrance at the far corner for your reminder, okay? And the review is going to show the big screen on the back of the court, okay? That we use machine, and it's a 60 seconds changeover. Is shorter than the tour, okay? That's the only difference. The challenges during the rally between serve, let's make it clear, we just go for it, okay? Any questions? No? Would you like to call Alison? It's ANC or Yvonne? ANC. ANC, sorry, you're Yvonne, okay? Please. That's ANC. Receive. Receive. Yeah, good. Have a good match. Thank you.
So now time to get a feel of the tennis balls on the racket, get them hopefully coming out of the middle. We'll meet the contestants in a moment. Lou, I mentioned the fact that there have only been 2 meetings between them. Both of them have been won by Alison Riske, but the difference is the surface those 2 matches were won on.
Absolutely. This young lady on screen here, Alison Riske, she's a phenomenal tennis player on grass, and that's where she's won most of her matches throughout her career. She hits a very flat ball, she's very aggressive, and that's tough on grass. I just feel today Ash Barty's strength goes into Alison Riske's weakness, and that's the heavy forehand. That's what we're going to watch tonight. That is where she'll be exposed.
29 years of age, Alison Riske, the WTA rank of 19. Her high rank has been 18. That was achieved in November of last year. She's been top 100 the past 7 years. She won a title on grass at Hertogenbosch last year, where she beat Burtons in the final and saved 5 match points. Runner-up in Shenzhen and Wuhan, where she lost to Sabalenka on both occasions. She won her first career title back in Tianjin in 2014. She's a very accomplished and experienced player. She made the quarterfinals at Wimbledon after beating Ash Barty there last year in 3 sets, eventually losing to Serena Williams, who got through to the final. She's wily, and at 23 years of age, this young woman is wily as well. What a year she had. 4 titles in 2019, including the WTA finals. She won at Birmingham, she won at Miami, but of course the big one was at Roland Garros, where she became a Grand Slam champion, and she accumulated an incredible year with all those titles and the quite tidy sum of $11.3 million US.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? What a beautiful story for this youngster that just a couple of years ago wasn't sure whether this is the sport that really fitted her style, her mindset, where she wanted to be. Did she want to be an individual on the court, or did she want to be playing a team sport? And just a fantastic story to see Ash walk away from the game and come back a much more improved version, and absolutely loving the game. She's done a lot of good work, and well, what a dream for her to have a year such as 2019, winning the French, and then just a couple of weeks later just taking that #1 mantle. I think the fact that that happened so quickly, Pete, really has helped her on her journey.
And the other good thing that's helped her on her journey is we listen to the welcome. Is the fact that she brings winning form in here. She captured a title in Adelaide last week, so she's brought good form into these championships. She was a little sluggish early against Lesia Sarenko in the first round, but then she found her form as the match went on. She's been good in rounds 2 and 3, whereas her opponent Alison Riske has been taken to 3 sets on a couple of occasions, including against Julia Gerges in the 3rd round. So of the two, Ash has probably looked a little more sturdy, but Alison Riske has got some good preparation time coming into this match.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And Alison was one of the best workers on the tour, and you can just see there's the confirmation of the 2 matches. And for me, I'm not going to take too much. This court here really suits Ashleigh. The court's playing slow. The bounce is going to get high. Of course, there is a little bit of humidity playing at night. But she's a great asset to the WTA Tour as well, Alison. And Ash, 2 wonderful girls, both so very well liked on the tour. And this is was just a great match because both of these players are starting to play now during the AA. They've gotten rid of a couple of I would say less than fantastic matches in the previous 3 rounds. Ash would be very happy to get that first one. Sarenko wiped off the board. That first set wasn't her best tennis, but I think when you start to play an Australian Open and you're looking ahead and you've got 7 matches, I don't think you want to come out and play your absolute best match in your first match. You've got something to work towards. I think she said that after Adelaide, that there's improvement to still get to, and she has certainly settled in throughout this event and gotten a much better product.
The brilliant Czech Petra Kvitova awaits in the quarterfinals after a victory against Maria Sakkari of Greece earlier today. So there are a lot of television sets in this nation tuned on to this. Ashleigh Barty carrying the hopes of Australia into the 4th round at her National Open Championship. Alison Riske, the 29-year-old from the United States, standing in her way. This nation watching, the eyes of a lot of the sporting world watching on, and some great Australians in the audience as well.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Behind the players, cease for now. We're ready for play.
One great Queenslander, Pat Rafter, amongst the audience.
Ready?
Another great Queenslander to get this thing underway.
That's a nice start for Barty. Just release a little pressure there.
Pat Cash on the left, John Fitzgerald on the right, inducted into the Tennis Australia Hall of Fame earlier tonight.
Ash will be really looking to spread the court, to really get Riske out of her comfort zone. She wants that ball just above the hip-high zone. Ashleigh is going to get it all over. Shoulder, ankle, slice, top spin. Plenty of variation tonight.
That's what Riske can do.
15.
She hits a heavy ground ball.
Oh, she's like playing against a backboard. She's so solid, Alison. Yeah, risk and reward really, isn't it, tonight? And that's what Alison is really going to have to do, come out and play the most aggressive match that she's played so far at the Australian Open.
It'll need to be Riske by name and Riske by nature.
Absolutely. Husband Stephen Armitraj there with his hands up on the left. Just recently married, Alison.
Yeah, after Wimbledon last year when she had that great result. Only just long. So a little hiccup at the end of the first game, but Barty gets on the board first.
An incredible journey Alison Riske has had. I remember back in 2009, I had a player that I was coaching and we practiced here at the Australian Open, and she was bitterly disappointed. She'd missed out by one. She was 19 years of age. She'd missed out by one into Brisbane and missed out into qualifying here. And she contemplated whether she was good enough to come. Just have a look at the win predictor there, though, Pete. It's heavily weighted one way.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Riske to serve.
When you consider that one is the #1 player in the world, the other one is the number 19. And determination is the thing that you're talking about with Alison Riske here, Lou, because she was 63 at the end of 2018 and got it to 18 at the end of last year. That is a massive jump.
Phenomenal. She's a worker. Had a look at that one, Ash. Drops the racket head, just doesn't get enough shape to keep that one in. She was there. Yeah, that's what's going to cause risk. Just a few problems here. That backhand slice of Ashleigh Barty. Very linear player is Alison Riske, and will not handle the change of pace too often. There's Camp Barty. Great tennis IQ, Ashleigh Barty, that's for sure. But you can just see her here just testing out the skill set of Alison Riske early on.
She'll need to get first serves into play, although she does have a bit of heat on her second serve, the American. And that'll be tested. 2 break points for an immediate statement. And the break comes, and it comes quickly.
Barty leads 2 games to love.
The respective first serve percentages. Alison Riske has been 69 in the first round, 60 in the next 2. Ash has been getting better as it's gone on. 57 round 1, 60 in the second round, 65 against Rebekina in the third round.
That's some good numbers. And there's some players that really build off that too when they're serving well. Everything else seems to click in.
Didn't need to overplay it, just needed to get the ball back into play to win the point.
You can just see how far the American is being pushed back from that baseline. A little bit of DNA there of what Ashleigh Barty is going to do. Dissect this court. Two things I feel Alison really has to get right tonight. She's got to stay up on that baseline and try to take time away, not allow Ash to push her back and then really create the angles. And she's also got to really try to take some risk and come in and look for volleys, shorten some of the points.
Hold.
When that first serve has gone into play for the Australians, she's winning at least 70% of those points so far in these championships. Close to 80 in round 2. Points to 4, untroubled largely. A dream start for the Australian. She leads 3-love.
3 games to love.
Pretty impressive, isn't it, Pete, how this young lady has handled herself, how she has represented her own brand and who she is. She's an absolute delight to watch, the way she gets around the court, the way she speaks with everyone. She's got so much time and just a really beautiful young girl, but certainly a great role model for tennis here in Australia.
Well, one of the crowd yelled out, "Come on, Queenslander." She's a proud Queenslander. She comes from Ipswich, just outside of Brisbane. She's got her place up there. And someone said to her, after you earned about $11 million, what will you do with it? She said, "I'm happy with my little place. I've got everything I need." She's just that kind of person.
Yeah, she really is. Very down to earth.
Find your seats quickly. Time.
Sunday night, the 26th of January, Australia Day, and it's been a good start for Australia in this 4th round match to see who meets Petra Kvitova in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. Alison Riske, desperately in search of a hold of serve. Can't afford to go down 2 breaks in this opening set against the world number 1. A positive start from this young woman.
Any available seats, please?
Bit of movement right behind Ash at the moment.
England.
Just a little patchy here to be expected, Alison. She certainly would be feeling some nerves. Having played out here on Rod Laver Arena, this is the 4th opportunity for Ash. She's getting more comfortable every time she's been out here. Yeah, good height and depth from Ash there. Just stretching the court again, just trying to get that ball to bounce up a little bit higher above the shoulder zone. That's where you cannot create power. Much more difficult for players.
A little wild one there from the world number one. Well, this is only the 21st point of the match, but for Alison Riske, this is an enormous point. Already down a break. She can't possibly afford to give Barty another look. And Ash was losing her footing. She was having trouble staying upright, and the court was there for Riske to hit into. This is big trouble, and you can see how annoyed she is with herself. A point now for the double break.
Oh, had the whole court there, Ash. Just rushed it a little bit. Didn't need to play it quite as good as she was wanting to there.
Barty took time away from her there.
Didn't she?
She was on the ball straight away. And in terms of speed, 145, not bad speed for a second serve at all. A second chance of a break for the Australian. And that's a good way to reply.
Yeah, needs to just take her time here. Just really think about where she wants to go. Trying to get this first serve in.
Advantage, Riske.
Nice play there from Alison. Serve out wide, that's a pattern we'll see a lot. Then just trying to take that ball nice and early up off the rise into the open court. Chance here.
That is a very significant hold. She was staring down the barrel of the double break, but that is excellent stuff from the American.
And as a player, the amount of stress that is released after you hold serve there, after that pressure building, scoreboard pressure and emotional pressure, this serve is not easy to hit, but she is such a journeywoman, Alison Riske.
One thing Barty could do with is a lift in the first serve percentage. It was 45 before that point, dropping even further. It was a slightly late call, and generally speaking, if there is a delay, the player will challenge.
I think she knows it's out. Oh.
Maybe not.
Wow.
Points overturned. Replay point.
We're a long way from that, but we're right on the line. The trajectory just really looked like that was pushing wide.
Court.
She's just starting to find her range with her ground shots now.
Very similar to the way she started against Julia Gerges in her last match. Just took time, lost the first set 6-1, and it really took her a good 7 games to start really finding her range.
And here is the importance of that hold of serve that she was able to come up with in the previous game, because Barty doesn't have the insurance policy now. She does have the one break, but that can disappear quickly.
Terrific serve there from Ash. Still the 159 mark, but that's a clever serve. Just sliding wide. It's out to Alison's weaker side.
Oh, that's a brilliant point. She constructed that beautifully and made a positive charge to the net, and it wasn't an easy volley.
Not at all, but she just has great intuition here to sneak in. She sees that Ash's end range, the slice, is not going to be with the same power. Good awareness there from Riske.
And it sets up 2 break points.
Ash will not want to be entertaining long rallies like that second last point, particularly when she feels like she's the defender.
That is terrific depth from the American. And she has broken back and gets herself into the first set. Great scrapping from the 29-year-old. And we're back on serve in the first set.
Yeah, terrific attitude, Alison. Just seems to stay very even mentally. You don't see her really getting upset. Got a great sense of how to figure things out, how to emotionally invest into a match. Just keeps her energy, and she can go all day. Terrific mover. She's a very fit young lady.
What you need to do is go to ekcam.com, use the hashtag Emirates Play. You need to put in your row number, your seat number, and one of the cameras around the arena will take your photo. Once again, use the hashtag Emirates Play, and you could be in the running.
That is Federation Square in the heart of Melbourne, near the corner of Flinders and Swanson Street, the famous Flinders Street station, just across the way. And they're keeping an eye on the tennis. A big hello to everybody at Federation Square in Melbourne, only about a kilometre or so away from this great complex at Melbourne Park. Night 7 of the Australian Open Championships. And what a great performance we've seen in recent minutes from Alison Riske, who was staring at the possibility of a double break. She was annoyed with herself during that 4th game, but she managed to come up with a huge hold of serve. And now she's got the break, and we're back on service terms in this first set. Alison sending one off to the stringers.
Right play though from Ash. Just trying to use her feet, get around and use the forehand. You have more variation from that side, particularly from the backhand. You can go off or inside. almost saying "oh" before the ball landed in the court there.
There
Have
could
to
have
be a
been
little careful of that.
Could have been a case for something to be said about that, but as it turns out, it went out anyway. Jenny Jang in the chair, experienced umpire.
Just struggling a little there to generate the pace. There's absolutely nothing on the ball from Barty there. Frustrated with herself. That's a poor error from Alison Riske.
And Ash will have made a mental note of that. It would have been in the game plan at the start, but the slicing and dicing might just go up another level. And yet again, throws in the slice, asks the American to generate her own pace, and she couldn't handle it. The pendulum swinging one way and then the other in this first set. Craig Tyser, Ash's longtime coach. Got it. So it's only a break if you hold your serve, and Alison Riske has found that out the hard way. And the Australian
4-2
back in the driver's seat.
Yes, smart game from Ash there, just really using the height and shape. Look at the depth there, and that's where Alison cannot dictate in the rally. So Ash has got to really be mindful how to keep that ball high, heavy, and then the slice, not let Alison really settle and dictate. As soon as that ball's short, Riske. Good work.
How about the change in pace there?
Yeah, you can again see that depth, and that is absolutely key. The minute that Alison senses the short ball, she's up on it and can take time away from Ash, push her back into the corners.
Latvia.
That's a spectacular point.
Well, it has a little bit of everything from Ashleigh Barty, doesn't it? Pushes her opponent wide, slices, and pulls this one short, then pulls the trigger. It's got power, pace, slice and dice. She will absolutely love that. So will all the team sitting in the entourage box.
And she follows it up with another ace. In fact, it is her first ace of the match, and it takes it comfortably to 40 love. That one going down at 181, her
That's
fastest serve.
Decent, yep.
Yeah. It's actually equal to her fastest serve of the championship so far.
Right idea. I like that heavy kick that Ash is looking to get to really force Riske off the court.
She looks the one more likely at the moment. 181 followed by 177. Barty now just a game away. The new ball's coming. The Australian leads 5-2.
Barty leads
5 games to 2.
Well, making a lot of Australians pretty happy, particularly in country areas where each ace, I should say, is going for a wonderful appeal. Should be pretty happy. A lot of the players have got that in the back of their mind. And, well, certainly Ash has just been a wonderful competitor, and she's talked so much about the bushfire appeal. Of course, it's something that all the players have really been passionate about. It's just great to see the aces coming down, Pete.
There's a lot of people, Lou, wanting to see a lot of aces, and now there are a lot of people wanting to see Sasha Zverev win the men's title. Because if he does, he's donating his $4.2 million to the appeal, the whole lot of it.
Well, that's phenomenal, isn't it? What an offer.
Tennis has done a brilliant job to get behind this cause. A very positive performance from the world number one, feeling the pressure of playing in front of her home crowd. Of course she's feeling pressure. It would be impossible not to, but she's handling it well so far. Bouncing back from the adversity of dropping her serve in the 5th game by getting a break of her own. And now with new balls, the 29-year-old from the United States serving to keep the first set going at 2-5.
Court. England.
Riske-has got a higher first serve percentage than Barty, but she's not winning as many points when the first serve goes in. And there's a case in point. That's now 7 of 15 when the first serve has gone in.
Thank you. Please.
Jenny Zhang won't be too worried about the shot clock here. It's been paused at 8 seconds, but the interruption will allow Alison to take her time.
Just pushing out one wide. It's a unique style, though. Barty talks about her coach and how she started off at the age of 4 with Jim Joyce. There he is there, just to the left of Jason Stoltenberg, above Alicia Molik.
It's good aggressive stuff at a very vital point for Alison Riske.
Yeah, good play from Alison, but Jim says, oh, I'm not sure I could coach a girl. I've only ever coached guys, so it is one of the reasons. And he thought about sending her to somebody else, but luckily for Ash, they stuck with it, and he taught her how to have an all-court game.
She's not taking a backward step. You've got to give it to Alison Riske. She comes up with a hold, makes Barty do it herself to close out the set. We've just ticked beyond half an hour in this 4th round battle to see who will beat one of the informed players in the women's game to meet Petra Kvitova, the number 7 seed, in the quarterfinals in 2 days' time.
She's got to get it out of that middle zone there. There's a big circle in the middle of the court that Ash will not want to play too much through. Just committing to making Alison feel uncomfortable.
She's got plenty of depth on that serve too. Right at the outside edge of the service box. 2 points away.
Again, successful with whip. Very good hitting from Ash.
For the majority of this first set, the Australian has looked the player more likely.
We can hear the crowd when Ash hit that forehand that had a little bit of shape, and it's just such a difference from the ball that's coming from Alison Riske, which is very linear, very flat. And you can just feel when that change-up comes.
A second chance to close it down. Barty is first on the board. The world #1 to the rapturous applause of the Rod Laver Arena crowd. Takes the first set in 34 minutes, 6-3.
She's handled the occasion incredibly well, hasn't she, Pete?
Yeah.
Just so many things that she's achieved over the last 12 months, and just named Young Australian of the Year just today, so that would have been an emotional thing for Ash. She also was the Player of the Year at the Newcomb Awards for Tennis Australia. She is just holding everything so well in her hands at the moment. Have a quick look at that. 61%, you mentioned that. It's the conversion that's very healthy for Ash Barty. 82%. 8 winners to 5 unforced errors, very tidy there, and that's what Alison has just taken a little bit more care towards the end of this set, just locked in a much more consistent performance, and we'll just see how things change over the course of this match. Alison Riske is going to have to be more aggressive, get up on that baseline and try to force some bigger tennis from Ash Barty. Just such good use of the shape. Ash Barty, good defense there. Great touch. We saw that. And again, another part of the game where Ash has really got to be on the front foot there, looking to dictate. Just doing such a great job with this slice, causing problems all over.
Ash Barty has wrapped up the first set. A big task just became bigger for Alison Riske of the United States, the world #19 on Australia Day 2020. And this time, the American has a different dynamic because she serves second in the first set. She's got the opportunity of putting a stamp on it now and forcing the pressure to go onto the shoulders of the Australian. Every time she holds, then that pressure is evident for Barty to try and work through. A little apology at the end.
30 love.
Barty did well to get the pick up.
Oh, it's just a terrific battle, wasn't it? Look at the peripheral awareness. He could pick up here from Ash, but just finding that little space past Barty. Good effort.
Just what Alison Riske was after at the start of this second set. If she can get a stress-free service game out of the way, conserve a bit of energy after what happened in the first set, that would be just ideal. Just what the American was after, a love game. That's an impressive start to the second set.
First game.
That's how clinical Alison is. Puts away what is in the past and just focuses on what she needs to do. And so often she can just turn situations around very quickly. Did that against Gerges. Lost that first set 6-1 and then back to business. Just locked it in, became really solid, consistent. Just became that little bit more aggressive as well. All those combinations just can turn that subtleness of a match. A win predictor still with Barty in the ascendancy.
15 love.
We mentioned that Ash Barty carried some good form in after the victory in Adelaide. Alison played up in Brisbane. She must have thought she was playing Fed Cup up there because she played 3 Czech opponents. She beat Muchova in the first round, Stritsova in the second round, and lost to Pliskova in the next match.
I thought it was going to be checkmate. A little extra power, but placement is essential here against Riske. Just wants to get it a little out of those hitting zones there. End range, you know you're going to buy back something a little shorter. You're going to be controlling the rally from that first shot. I think over the years, if there's a bigger trend, and that is for the players to really get more accurate, really think about that first serve and get more out of it. So then you're buying that controlling ball off the first shot.
A little jumpy.
30-14.
And a real opportunity for the number 18 seed here to make an early statement. Some concern on the face of Alicia Molik on the left of your picture and the Barty camp. And the break comes to the groan of the crowd. And that is a testament to the fighting qualities of Alison Riske. Part of the reason that that break came was because of the pressure she put on her opponent in that game. So now the American has the upper hand.
Yeah, she's settled in a lot more, hasn't she? She's feeling very much at home now, and that's just takes a little time too. Rod Laver Arena is a lot bigger than the smaller stadiums she's been coming through each match, Alison.
and we can just see, Lou, there's a fair bit of breeze just starting to permeate the stadium now, so the players will perhaps be looking to just adjust their margins to the lines. Something Alison did really well during that point. Signs are good for the American. She's going for the lines, though. She's having a real purple patch here at the start of the second.
Yeah. There's that risk and reward. In fact, there's not a lot of risk on that. She's still giving herself a good chance. She's inside the court. Just caught that one a little bit late.
That's 11 points to 2
40-11.
at the start of this second set. A few murmurings amongst the crowd. Those sporting the stars and stripes are a lot happier.
We look at the score at Wimbledon in 2019, and Alison did take that first set. I beg your pardon. Ashleigh Barty took that first set 6-3.
That's a commanding performance from Alison Riske at the start of the second set. And she does to Barty what Barty did to her in the first. The American leads 3-love.
Games to love.
Well, it's just the unforced errors just starting to creep up a little bit for Ashleigh Barty. And you noted that there is a little bit more wind, so just got to take those, make the adjustments really, don't you? You've got to use your feet a lot more, just use some shape, a little bit more spin. The spin is what helps you with control to cut through that wind and give yourself bigger targets. But it's been a very good effort from Alison. I just feel she just relaxed after that first set, put it away, came out and just was, I'm going to lock in this very concise and very consistent style of play.
The Americans only made the one unforced error so far in the early stages of this second set, which has been going for 10 minutes. A packed house at Rod Laver Arena tonight, watching one of Australia's favourite sporting daughters, but she's got a battle on her hands at the start of the second set after what was a pretty impressive display in the first. Here's a number that will cause some concern for the Australians so far in this set. Ashleigh Barty, no winners, 6 unforced errors. There's a lot of movement right behind Alison Riske there at the moment.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, behind the players. Any seats available for now?
Quite Australian, just waiting for those gents to have their beer. Much better serve there. Good way to start this service game. Ash again with a little bit more slice, trying to look for width. Doesn't want to miss anything, Alison.
This game becomes a mirror image of the fourth game of the first set. Remember what happened there? Riske was down a break, and she was actually down 2 break points and came up with a mighty big hold. And perhaps Barty is facing the same dilemma here.
Ledvison. First.
That's the first point she's managed to win off the second serve in this set.
Oh, through the middle of the court, just testing that alley there.
The ball was called in.
Just calling for the challenge there. Not sure whether that one was in or not.
I think this might have jumped off the line. We're at the other end of the court. I think it was a bit of an insurance policy. I think she's pretty content that this ball has actually hit the line.
Ashleigh has 2 challenges win.
That is a solid service game. Just what the Australian needed to get on the board in the second set.
Riske leads 3.
We're not showing a lot of emotion out there, Ash, but just really digging in deep in that service game, making sure just to be nice and solid, just execute the way without too much risk from her end. Again, there's the one that just seems to find Ali just in a spot of bother, that slower, higher one that she's got to generate from. Again, that one wide, and some players like it coming hard and fast.
Fast sideline. The ball was called out.
She wants to be careful with these challenges because she's leaving herself vulnerable for later in the set. Unless this one's hit the line. And it did. So that's a very good challenge. She wasn't sure about it. She'd actually gone to the side of the court as if she'd lost the point.
Wow, just a little more patient here. Ash just changing up the tactic, just a fraction, going back through the middle of the court, taking away any angle there for Alison.
Unlucky, just a little touch of the tape, saw it fly.
Ms. Barty challenging a call on the left center service line. The ball was called in.
Well, this time, Alison thinks she's made it. She's ready to go.
Oh.
She was right.
30. Ms. Barty has 2 challenges.
Well, how big is this point now in the context of this match?
Wow. Clutch serving there from Alison. 2 huge serves.
Well, that's unplayable. Well, you have to hand it to the American at the clutch moment. She's been exceptional in the second set, and she maintains her advantage. Alison Riske up 4-1 in the second. Well, the crowd might be hoping for Ash Barty, but I think even those who are would be admiring what this woman has been able to produce, Lou, in the second set. She's been exceptional, and she's been really good at the pressure moments, played the big points well.
Hasn't she? I'm really impressed with the way Alison has come out here. She's a very brave player, and not too many things go really wrong with her game. She has one kind of style, and she commits to it, and she works very hard to find that contact and the way she plays. So there's not a lot of variances, and she just keeps chipping away at it. You can see her team just very happy with the way she commits and goes about her work. She's a real work horse, isn't she? She just has a great attitude as well.
Time.
Fights so hard. Doesn't have the biggest of everything, but certainly has a huge heart.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Behind the players, seats quickly, please.
Ashleigh Barty has got some work to do to prevent this one going to a third set. Alison Riske of the United States in the driver's seat at the moment on this Sunday night in Melbourne.
Any available seats for now?
Hardly a spare seat in the house at Rod Laver Arena, and there's the reason why.
England.
Maybe sensing she needs to do a little bit of more of that. John Fitzgerald, his wife, enjoying this one.
Must have been a special occasion when Fitzy got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He had a shave this morning. That's good hitting.
Does that mean you haven't been inducted lately, Pete?
I don't think I'm likely to be at any stage, Lou.
I'll bring the razor tomorrow for you.
Okay.
He's feeling the pressure. Oh, just pushing that one wide.
15-30.
Just feeling she's got to do that little bit more to get it past the Riske defence.
That is now 1 winner and 10 unforced errors for Barty in this second set. It's gone right off.
Gee, having to do some hard work there. Ash really trying to hang in on that, but Alison was really controlling that rally. Got out of jail there, Barty.
almost been a miracle had that shot of Ash's landed in. What was it? It was almost a half volley lob from the baseline.
Yeah, please. Yeah, we can't teach that one.
Spinning like a top. Break point. And this set is just about gone. As far as Australia is concerned, Alison Riske has put her foot to the floor.
Riske leads 5-1.
And she is streaking towards getting this to a deciding set. Understandably, some looks of concern amongst Team Barty. That previous break gives the 29-year-old the buffer zone that she was looking for. Eases the pressure just a little bit. She's still got the pressure of serving the set out, but at least she's got a backup. Have a listen to that wind in our effects, Mike.
Different at her opponent, because just trying to take her on rally for rally, ball for ball from the back is just not going to cut it at the moment. She needs to get her out of her rhythm, and this is a good way to do it.
She held it back just long enough, waited for Barty to make the move and put her away. It's been a most impressive display from this young woman. 23 points to 12 in this second set. That's only the third point she's lost when the first serve has gone into play.
Rod, this is where the work that Ashleigh Barty has done with that man right there, the mindset coach, Ben Crow. He's worked with some pretty amazing athletes alongside Ash. Steph Gilmore, great Australian surfer, the Australian cricket team, also Richmond Football Club. And that's Ash's favourite football club, and she is really needing his help right now.
That serve was 170, so it was her second quickest serve of this match so far. It's been a brilliant set by the American. And for the moment, she's taken the crowd out of the equation. Alison Riske sends this round 4 match into a decider. It is 1 set apiece after 61 minutes. Well, you can only just say well done. Full of admiration as she takes a break to perhaps ponder what she's been able to do. But she'll want to get back out there as quickly as she possibly can, because the momentum is all hers at the moment.
Absolutely, she's feeling it right now, and you wouldn't want to stay out of this stadium too long. All the feeling is the way of Alison Riske, and really I haven't seen such a shift in a match so quickly. Ashleigh Barty is going to have to do a lot of work here. Higher percentage doesn't matter because they're not being converted at the moment. 58%, that's a big shift. And have a look at the winners here. It's now gone over to the positive side pretty much the whole way down. Everything, the boxes are ticked for Alison Riske, and Ash is going to have to really find a way just to get a little bit more physical out here and break down some of those unforced errors. She's tried to use the slice. It hasn't bothered Alison as much in this set. She started off extremely well, just being able to dig out all sorts of shots in this set, Alison Riske. But she's shown why she's really taken the WTA by storm in the last 12 months. She's one of those players that expected just to really rise up on the tour. Great hands from Ashleigh Barty. Can't quite get this one done. Big smash from Barty there, but we haven't seen enough of it.
Alison Riske producing a magnificent set of tennis. 25 points to 13 to level up the match against the #1 seed and the tournament favourite, Ashleigh Barty of Australia. That took the crowd out of the equation for the most part. The deciding set on the Sunday night in Melbourne. Alison Riske auditioning for the role of being the biggest party pooper in Australia at the moment.
Oh, please.
And she's playing that role to acclaim. Australia's day on Australia Day, not just yet.
It's been amazing, hasn't it, Pete? The billboards around Melbourne, around Australia, come for the Barty, stay for the party, and that really must have built quite a lot of expectation for this young lady as well. Ashleigh Barty, clearly.
Was awkward. She just got herself into two minds as to how she was going to handle that.
Well, they both hit their heads after this shot. Alison, because she just missed that one, and Ash, there she goes. Oh, what an opportunity there for Alison Riske.
Please.
This is really good aggressive stuff. She's taking it to Barty now.
30-15.
She's on the attack whenever she sees half a chance.
Well, a much better finish to the point on that occasion up at the net. She just would have had to do some deep thinking in that break in between set 2 and 3, Ashleigh Barty. There's a lot of data and match analysis that's shared between coaches, and certainly Tennis Australia have done a terrific job with that. Darren McMurtry would be giving a lot of information to the Barty team. But it's up to the individual, the player, when they're out on the court and the wheels have fallen off, that they're able to then make those shifts. And that's something that Ashleigh Barty has done very well in her career.
Yeah, that's the problem, IQ, isn't it? With all that information, you can have an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's up to Ash.
Yeah, she's got to find that algorithm, doesn't she?
And she comes up with a very important hold. Some very positive moments from the American again. They are here for the Barty party. And at the moment, it is in the balance.
You can think about all different algorithms and equations and numbers and everything, but really it comes down to some numbers for Ashleigh Barty. She's got to get less unforced errors, and she's got to start making more of the first serves. Put pressure back on Alison Riske. Beautiful sunset almost here in Melbourne.
The sun will be setting on one of these young women and their Australian Open hopes. Here's the change in what we've seen. Ash still the overwhelming favourite.
15 left.
Oh, not a great shift there.
Well, right at the moment, I'd say this is closer to 50-50.
I would too. So would she, perhaps.
Out.
Well,
In fact, if anything, Lou, I think you'd say that the momentum needle is dipping towards the American at the moment.
Possibly,
She's
yeah.
probably entitled to be the one considered the one more likely. And there's part of the reason why.
40 left.
She's aggressive. She's not taking a backward step. When she gets the chance of coming into the net, she's been into the net almost 3 times as much as the Australian has. You can't win titles on grass and do well on grass without being able to be comfortable at the net. A very straightforward hold. More groans going up from the crowd. They've got to the stage now where they're really concerned, even though this match essentially is level. A set apiece, 1 game apiece, but just at the moment, the breeze is at the back of Alison Riske, and Craig Tyser and Alicia Molik know that something's got to give here.
It was interesting the other day. Roger Federer said after he won against John Millman, he said he went to a very dark place to try to win that match, because you play against someone like Millman and they just make a million balls. The work rate, the effort you've got to put in to beat them. And I'm sure Ash is really thinking about that as well, because she just knows Alison Riske is one of the toughest competitors, just makes you play a ton of balls.
Oh, she came up with 2 incredibly deep balls, both of them just about bouncing on the baseline. This is perhaps just what the 23-year-old from Australia wanted. Just a little gentle service game for a change.
Just didn't get the feet right there, Ash. Didn't get down to it. Just not coming up off the ground.
That's a bit more like it. And the crowd get themselves involved. She's got her nose in front. We're on serve in the deciding set. Barty leads 2-1.
Barty leads 2-1.
It's a real battle, isn't it? You can just see both players really trying to think, what's next? How do I continue to find ways just to hurt my opponent? Ash has just lifted again a little bit in intensity. She's got to do that You can't sit back and think you're going to trade blows with Alison Riske. You've got to affect. There's got to be some cause and effect here, because otherwise she will step in and just make these rallies longer, and that's where I feel she's been able to just get a little bit more bite on the ball and just cause a bit of frustration in the Barty camp.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please find your seats quickly. Time.
The city of Melbourne on a Sunday night. Prince's Bridge over the top of the Yarra River, the Arts Centre spire in Melbourne. The sun is setting on Australia Day, and we have a cracking contest at Rod Laver Arena. A centrepiece. We're on serve early in the third. Alison Riske, the 29-year-old American, serving at 1-2.
Well, she's from Pittsburgh, and we know that's a city built on steel, really, isn't it? And she's putting in a pretty steely performance tonight.
Here's the chance. To continue the analogies, Lou, she actually lives in Nashville now, and for most of the time she's been on song tonight, but right here is where Barty can sense something. Fell in. It almost took a 45-degree bounce. It would have been a near thing. But look at the angle this has. It probably would have been a winner looking at that had it been inside. Barty getting a little agitated.
You don't often see that from Ash. Doesn't usually give too much away.
Here comes the moment. She's had her back to the wall for a long time now, Ash Barty. And this is the time where that can all change.
Wow, she just really grips this ball. It's the depth that hurts Riske.
Got it inside the line. And again.
Barty leads.
Oh, it's some brave tennis from Ash Barty, isn't it? Unbelievable, taking the initiative, just showing how positive she is, wanting to come forward, make the action play, but just the intensity has lifted. Camp Barty extremely happy there as her boyfriend Gary Kissick in the red. Wow, the momentum shifts and the crowd and everything. There's just been waves tonight.
And momentum momentum shifts are something that we see in this wonderful sport, and it can happen in the blink of an eye.
Unbelievable.
When you least expect it. Riske has been magnificent the way she stood up to the pressure, and then just one false step might finish up costing her. Good stuff. Whilst the crowd is on the side of Ashleigh Barty, understandably so.
They weren't sure about that one.
I think they're admiring what they're getting here from Alison Riske, and they had to wait for that call to confirm what they hoped. Changed completely in this match. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Ashleigh Barty is now 2 games away from the quarterfinals.
4-1.
Well, that is extraordinary. Where did that come from?
No, it really is, isn't it? It just takes it to another level. Her ability to be composed out here, Ashleigh Barty, and to come out and play just some brilliant tennis. It is quite impressive. I must say, even myself, at the end of that second set, you felt, where is she going to get this intensity, this next level that's needed to come out and just be a little bit more polished, more aggressive? But she has just done it. She's just brought up that extra level. And what a quality point. Forehand just starting to get a little extra back on top there. Look at the shape, the commitment to that.
Alison Riske has got to be saying, what do I need to do? The world #1 back in control on a Sunday night in Melbourne. The round of 16 at the Australian Open, looking to set up a date with Petra Kvitova in the quarterfinals. The Australian back in charge. Clever. Important to keep in mind too, Lou. Sometimes you look at 4-1, you think it's a long way back, but it's just the one break.
Absolutely. And you know, one thing for sure with Alison Riske, she will not pack up her bags and leave this court mentally or physically before the very last point. Doesn't get to buy one back.
4-11.
A wry smile on the face of Ashleigh Barty. Knew she had the open court. Craig Tyser knew exactly the same thing.
Game race.
Convincing service game from the American. She's running out of chances though. She will get
Barty leads.
At least
4
one,
games to 2.
potentially 2 more looks at the Barty serve in a bid to break.
Well, she'll continue to do that and just Stay really positive out here. She'll work hard and try to give nothing away to Ashleigh Barty. She'll have to earn it,
please.
That's for sure, Ash.
There's a lot of people in their lounge chairs around the length and breadth of this country sitting a bit further forward in those lounge chairs than they would normally be on a Sunday night.
You wouldn't have the recliner on?
Ooh, no, this is edge of the seat stuff now.
Good serve. And she's got to continue to keep coming up with some very good quality here. Ash, no resting on her laurels. Not that you would ever think for a second of that with Riske. But you do not get a reprieve. She's not happy with that, Alison. You don't often see that reaction either. Well, it hasn't worked for the last three.
Time to put that in the bag for a while.
Yeah.
Right on the line.
Yeah. She's not sure, but it's worth a try.
The ball was called in.
I think this is okay. We are at the opposite end of the court. Yep. So good aggressive stuff again.
40. Miss Barty has 2 challenges remaining.
The American with a break-back point. Well, you just have to hand it to Alison Riske. She sprints to the chair and presents all sorts of positive body language to her opponent, and she is back in this deciding set. We're on serve.
Well, she's been so tough on the second serves, Alison Riske. Anytime that ball comes in, if Ash has missed a first serve, then she really gets very excited. She starts really, because 1 of 7 Ashleigh Barty has won on a second serve. She's 93% off the first serve. She's only lost 1 point in this set. And you can just feel that these guys are thinking, okay, Alison is still in this. And it's a very much a match that's on the edge, but a refreshed amount of energy from Alison Riske. You can just feel it.
Staying alive. Yep, that's what Alison Riske has just done. Getting the break back when Ashleigh Barty looked as though she was in control of this deciding set. We're back on serve again. Of course, it's only a break if you hold afterwards, and that's the task the American has now.
a little wild. Just wonder which way the breeze is really pushing down this court. I almost feel that there's a bit of extra wind coming behind Ash there. Just blowing that one perhaps a little long. Very swirly sometimes inside the stadium, hard to tell. Again, a little long.
And that's the time you've got to temper your margins a bit. Just dial it back 5%. Pretty easy to say when you're not down there and you're not having to think your way through this. Just wide. She just couldn't get settled.
15.
Again, 3 errors from the racket of Barty here.
15.
And she's not punishing the second serve, Luke, as much as she needs to be. In this set, Alison Riske, believe it or not, has a perfect record on second serves. She's 6 from 6.
Game Riske.
And that was just a bit too easy. Barty didn't ask enough questions of Riske. And the American said thank you. And we're level again. In this nail biter as the first week at the Australian Open comes to an end. Plenty of positivity from Alison Riske at the moment. A lot of tension amongst the crowd. Always important to get those first points of games. Everybody was just holding their breath and waiting to see whether the line judge put the hands in front or whether the arm extended.
Perfectly struck from Barty, worked hard just to get the right ball there. Terrific footwork as well. A little long. It's just finding that balance between going for too much and just being a little passive there, not getting her hands through on that one. From Alison Riske, she was inside the baseline where she likes to control from. Plays that linear ball and just catching the tape. A let off there for Ash.
And here's the advantage of serving first if you can hold. Alison Riske has thrown in a challenge here, but this is purely a speculator. She's already on her way to the chair. She knows that this one is good. So does Ash. Hawkeye will certainly confirm it. And Ash Barty is the first to 5 in the deciding set, and that is important.
New balls, please. Barty leads 5 games to 4. Miss Racket has 2 challenges remaining.
So what that means is when you get to be the first to 5 in a deciding set, if you get half a look at anything in the next game, you can have a swing at it with impunity.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to come out here and just probably pull back a little. The last time she returned on Alison's serve, she made 4 very easy errors, and I just wonder whether there was a little bit of extra play, bit of extra wind from behind from up this end. So now she's down the opposite end. We'll see whether she can swing a little bit more and be more aggressive. But both players have given their absolute best. This 4-1 hand here, starting to find a little bit more acceleration and range yet again. It's come and gone a few times during this match.
Must be hard for a coach in these circumstances, because as much as they've done the preparation, they've done the scouting, they've taken all the facts and figures apart, now it's in the hands of the player to get it done. Ash Barty the first to 5. She gives a nod to acknowledge the new balls are in the hands of her opponent. And Alison Riske dared her, but the approach ball was not good enough to come in.
No, it was into the side of the forehand of Ash Barty as well. So she can see peripherally, she can measure up, and she can go either way, choosing to go line on this occasion. That's a good serve from Alison. 163, perfect placement though.
Her fastest serve of the night has been 171. Her average serve speed for the first serve has been about 160. That's better.
Well, that's brave from Alison, but of course, again, changing the side that she comes in. Of course, her coach, Billy Heiser, would be very happy with the way his player, Alison, has played tonight, but he'd like to see her to continue to make a few more steps here, no doubt.
How about the oohs and ahs that are rushing and swirling around Rod Laver Arena? Barty now just 2 points away.
Well, even though this is in the middle of the box, it's a gutsy shot still. It's high, it's not in the comfort zone there from Barty. Does enough.
It's been an incredible atmosphere. With the eyes of the nation upon her, Ash Barty has had the odd wobble or two.
Thank you.
She's faced some brilliant rearguard opposition from the American. Match point.
Please, sir, please. Please.
It's Australia's day on Australia Day. Ash Barty's dream of becoming the first Australian woman to win on home soil in 42 years remains alive. She'll be breathing a very big sigh of relief. An unfortunate way for it to end, with Alison Riske coming up with just her second double fault of the match. She was brave, but in the end, Barty gets the job done, and Petra Kvitova awaits.
Yeah, disappointing, wasn't it, for Alison there? She was 6 of 6 on second serves, but don't worry, Alison, you will have many more opportunities. She's been a quarter-finalist just the once at Grand Slam level, and gee, the way she's playing, she's headed for the top 10, this young lady. She has played a phenomenal AO 2020, and things will only certainly get the increase. Great effort from Ashleigh Barty, and look how much the emotional effort that was required tonight was immense.
Let's find out firsthand now as we watch the reaction from all parts of the arena. Let's join Ash now.
Well done, Casey. This is the third time that you and Ali had played. She'd beaten you twice, including at Wimbledon last year. Tricky conditions out here. You got off to a good start. She came back at you. How did you turn this thing around and finish it off in the third set?
Yeah, well, it was third time the charm for me last week, so I think third time the charm tonight as well. I just had to hang in there, and it was very tough from different ends, playing very differently. Yeah, but just had to hang in there and try and give myself a chance.
Did you make any adjustments? I'm standing here. Casey Delacqua, your friend, has been telling us on air that the wind is a huge factor in this match, and it sure seemed like it was hard to hold serve on that end. What was it like to play in it?
Yeah, it was exceptionally hard when the balls were new from this end, and that end you can't really feel it, but when you come down here, it's really behind you, and you think you have to be smart and try and use it. And from the other end, I struggled a little bit tonight, but was able to get some of the big holds that I needed.
You sure did. Now, you're into the quarterfinals, second straight year. Congratulations. And it's a familiar opponent, same person you played in the quarterfinals last year. She beat you last year, but since then, you've beaten her 3 straight times. What are going to be the keys for you to keep that streak going in the quarterfinals here?
Yeah, I love Petra, but let's hope she doesn't break my heart on Tuesday night, I think, all Tuesday. But yeah, it's been you know, an incredible year for me the last 12 months. It's been amazing. I'm just excited that I get another opportunity in a quarterfinal of Grand Slam. You don't get those every week, so I'm really excited.
So that's absolutely true. So there's Casey Delacqua, your friend, and the reason I was late running out here is she's supposed to do the interview. She's supposed to be here interviewing you, and she's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going out there. Jim, you got to go. She's like, Jim, it's your turn. Why is she afraid of you? You're not that big. I mean, you're good, but you're not that big.
I'm still taller than her. No, I mean, look at her. She's rugged up over there. I think, you know, she's turned into a mother hen. She's just warm and doesn't want to come out here. I felt like I was her first child, I think. She had to look after me, and now she's got 3 at home that are flying after she's had the test run with me, I think.
Well, you're definitely treating her like your mom. So, happy Australia Day. It's a special day for you, especially. Yesterday, you found out that you were the Young Australian of the Year. Congratulations. How'd you find out about it, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, it was a surprise. Pat actually surprised me a couple of days ago, presenting me the trophy, which is really special, from the Australian of the Year a few years ago now, but it's extremely humbling. I mean, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be myself, my authentic self, and that's all I can really do. I'm just trying to be the best version of me every single day.
Well, you were the best version tonight. Congratulations. You're into the quarterfinals. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of days. Ashleigh Barty, ladies and gentlemen.